Hello, good day viewers. In this tutorial, we are going to find the ratios of these four different angles. So if you are new here, consider subscribing. Press the bell icon so that you will be notified whenever I upload a new content, and don't forget to share to your learning colleagues. Let's get started. The first one, we would like to find the sine of negative 300 degrees. Cosine of negative 5 pi divided by 4, tangent of 5 pi divided by 6, and cosecant of 330 degrees. Let's start with the first one. It is always important to determine the position of that angle. But remember that sine is an odd function. So solution, sine of negative 300 degrees must be equal to negative sine of the positive 300 degrees, because sine is an odd function. But for cosine, we are coming to that. Next, we are going to determine the position of 300. Remember that if you have your cardinal points like this, from here to here it's 90, this is 180, this is 270, but 300 should be somewhere here, which is less than 360 degrees, right? So what will be our reference angle here? Because these entirely everything here will be 300 degrees. So we need 60 extra to make it 360, right? So instead of this 300, we can write it as 360 minus 60. So this is equal to negative sine of 360 degrees minus 60 degrees. You should know they are exactly the same, because we're going to utilize the reference angle. This will be our reference angle. Instead of using 300, we can now use 360 degrees. And remember that the sine ratio of every single angle in the fourth quadrant must be negative, because this leg, this y-axis, every point on this y-axis is negative. So one thing you should know, this will be equal to, already we have this negative, right? Then, okay, let me write it like this. Negative times, because this will be negative sine of 60 degrees. Because we know that sine of this angle 300, which lies in the fourth quadrant, must be negative, and already we have another negative, so the two negatives will multiply. So this will be just sine of 60 degrees. So you can see that the result will be positive. I'm going to explain something. So what is sine of 60 degrees? If you don't memorize it, you can use your finger. 0, 30, 45, 60. You are looking for sine. It will be root 3, these fingers, root 3 divided by 2. So this equals square root of 3 divided by 2 as our final answer. And now let me explain why it is positive. Remember that all ratios in the first quadrant are positive, right? So just look at it. If you consider it as negative 300, you have to count it clockwise. So if this is negative 90, negative 180, negative 270, negative 300 will be in the first quadrant, and all ratios in the first quadrant are positive. This is why our final answer turns out to be positive root 3 over 2. We are done with the first question. Moving on to the second one, which is cosine of negative 5 pi divided by 4. Cosine of negative 5 pi divided by 4. Cosine is an even function, therefore this will be cosine of positive 5 pi divided by 4. Yes, because cosine is even. Therefore, cosine of negative angle will be equal to cosine of the positive angle. Next, which position is this? And one thing I always recommend, if you cannot actually determine the position using radian, you can quickly convert it to degrees. You know, pi will be equivalent to 180, and 180 divided by 4 will give you 45 degrees. So we have 5 of these 45s. Just look at it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means that this angle lies in which quadrant? In third quadrant. So what will be our reference angle? The reference angle will be this one, because we have seen that root 5 pi over 4 is our reference angle, which is this one. So this will be pi divided by 4. Pi divided by 4 more than pi. So it will be pi plus pi divided by 4 that will give us this. So once you take 5 pi over 4, you subtract pi, it will give us that reference angle. This time this will give us what do we call it? 4 pi. Then 5 pi minus 4 pi will give us pi divided by 4. So this is our reference angle. So remember another thing. In the third quadrant, cosine is negative because it depends on x-axis, and this x-axis is negative. So how do we write this one? It is equal to cosine of pi plus pi divided by 4, right? Because this is what you need to add in order to get this one. So you can see our reference angle. Always related with x-axis. So this is x-axis, which is 80 degrees, but we have an additional of pi divided by 4, which is here. So this angle and this one, they are equivalent. So this must be equal to negative cosine of pi divided by 4, because in the third quadrant, cosine is negative. So you can take negative, then you take cosine of the reference angle. And this pi over 4 is 45 degrees, right? And cosine of 45 degrees, or pi divided by 4, is root 2 divided by 2. Therefore, our final answer will be negative root 2 divided by 2. So we are done with this one. Then number 3, we would like to find the tangent of 5 pi divided by 6. What will be this angle? This angle, before I simplify, I would like to tell you this is the same thing as tangent of pi minus pi divided by 6. Yes, this angle and this angle, they are exactly the same. And this lies in the second quadrant. If you want to find out, if you didn't master this radians, you can say 180 divided by 6, that is 30, and 30 times 5 is 150. And 150 is in the second quadrant, less than 180 degrees. So I know it will be 30 degrees less than 180. 30 degrees less than 180. Because 150 is 30 degrees less than 180. So once you take 180 minus 30 degrees, it will give us 150. This is 180, this is 30 degrees. Another way you can find this reference angle is to take pi minus this. Pi minus this will give us pi divided by 6. So it will be pi minus pi divided by 6. So again, remember that tangent is equal to what? Sine divided by cosine. So what should I do first? All right. Instead of taking tangent of the whole of this, in the second quadrant, we know that tangent is negative, right? So this will be equal to negative tangent of pi divided by 6. But I think instead of taking tangent directly, we can take sine divided by cosine, because tangent is equal to sine divided by cosine. So this is equal to negative sine of pi divided by 6 divided by cosine of pi divided by 6. But remember, the negative is attached to cosine because cosine is negative in the second quadrant, but sine is positive. But it doesn't matter, you can take the sine to the top. What is pi divided by 6? Remember, it is 30 degrees. And what is sine of 30 degrees? Look at it, 0, 30. Sine will be 1 over 2 because square root of 1 is 1. So this will be negative 1 over 2 divided by, because we have division sign. For cosine, you take this ones. That is root 3 divided by 2. Root 3 divided by 2. You change this to multiplication, you take reciprocal of this. This will be negative 1 over 2 times 2 divided by root 3. 2 cancel 2. We have negative 1 over root 3. This is our final answer, but if you like, you can rationalize it. By multiplying the top and the bottom by square root of 3, it will be negative root 3 over 3, right? So is equal to negative root 3 divided by 3. Our final answer. We are done with this one. Then lastly, we are going to take cosecant of 330 degrees. Cosecant of 330 degrees. First of all, what is cosecant? Cosecant is reciprocal of sine. So therefore, cosec 330 degrees is equal to 1 divided by sine of 330 degrees. Remember, 330 degrees is in the fourth quadrant, which is 30 degrees less than 60. And sine in the fourth quadrant is negative. So I will do that directly. This will be 1 divided by sine of 30 degrees negative, because I know it is negative in the fourth quadrant. So what is sine of 30 degrees? 0, 30. For sine, you take this, right? Square root of 1 over 2. So this is equal to 1 divided by, or negative 1 divided by 1 over 2. Reciprocal of 1 over 2 is 2. So this is negative 2. Negative 2 as our final answer. Therefore, cosecant of 330 degrees is negative 2. Thank you for watching. Do share to your learning colleagues and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting videos. Bye-bye.